Hey there, this is a continuation video from where we left in the previous one, where we discussed the agent concept as well as we also looked at how to configure an agent on a Windows box. In this video, we will see how to configure an agent from a Linux box. So let's go to the queues section. This would be from agent options, and I will click on this manage queues. As you can see, I have this default queue here, and two agents that we configured as part of last video are present here and they're up and running. We will now configure an agent from a Linux box. Note that we don't need to download that agent onto Linux box. The steps are a bit different. The agent actually is a bit different. So you can go to Microsoft slash VSO-Agent repo on GitHub to find out the code for it. So all the code is here to for you to look at, and you can also submit pull requests or new feature asks directly here. The steps are put here. There are some prereqs like node and npm should be installed, and we will do all of that as part of this video so that you don't lose out on any such steps and you get a failure later. That would be something we want to avoid. I have all these steps written down here. I'll also put this in the comment section as part of the video, so don't worry about that. So let's go and start our configuration, right, for that agent. So I also have Azure uh, VM of Ubuntu which I have logged into. So let's go ahead and start working on the all the steps that configures an agent for release management. So the first thing that you will run is obviously this step where you will go and install the build essentials. Note that all of these are idempotent steps, so even if you have installed all of this software, there is no harm in running it again. So before even the first step that I just copied, we will also do an apt-get update so that we have the latest repo from which apt-get can get the software from. Once it is done, we will start from the first step that is listed out here, downloading the build essential. So I'll do the build essential. I have already run this, so most of the times you will not see much happening here. But if you have not run it before, it will go ahead and install all this required software. So the second thing that we are running is to get the uh, uh, sources from inside for node. So this will just get and register this with apt-get, and now I will also install this nodejs once this is done. So this might take some time depending on the speed of your network. Yes, so it says that run apt-get install nodejs, so I'll do that. You may additionally also go ahead and create a soft link for node, so that whether you call it node or node.js essentially means the same. I have already done it. I will run it nevertheless. It will fail. So don't worry about it because I already have a node link which is pointing to node.js. So now I can use either node or node.js. Now we install this VSO-Agent installer. Remember this G minus G option. This is very essential because if you don't give it, it will only install for the local user in the local folder, which we don't want. We want it to be installed for all and at a global location. So once I do this, the VSO-Agent installer will be installed, and after that happens, I can run a couple of steps. This is to just get the ownership to the npm packages, and now I will create a new directory here. So I should be in home directory, and now I'll create let's see, okay, I'll create a new directory called agents where I will configure all my agents too. So I'll go into that directory and now name my agent as let's call it Xplat agent, right? So I'll just call it so this is just an identifier for my agent. If I have multiple agents running from the same machine, I just want to segregate them out. So I go to this folder, and now what I need to do is I need to install all the required files into this folder, right? So what I need to do is just call VSO-Agent installer here, and it will get all the files and it will put it here. So if you now see, there are some folders and some files created here. The last step that I need to do is node in the agent directory. There is a file that I need to run, which is VSO-Agent.js. You may or may not use the .js extension here. It will run nevertheless. So once I do this, it will ask me for my alternate credentials. Remember, you need alternate credentials as of today when you try to configure an agent from a Linux box. If you don't have it, go ahead and create it. What I will also do is I will put in the link for you which explains how to create alternate credentials if you don't know it. So don't worry, I already have it created and I will just use mine. After that, it asks me for the URL. Remember to put HTTPS, not just HTTP. Sometimes we do that, and I have already done this mistake a lot of time, and when I do it, the whole configuration fails. So this is an important thing that you need to remember. And it says what should be my agent name. So let's call it, so there is a default, I can go with default, but let me call it Xplat hyphen, this is an Ubuntu box, so let me call it Xplat hyphen Ubuntu. And it says that which pool name. I have just the default pool there, so I'll just leave it whatever it is keeping by default. And the agent is configured. So let's go and see. As you can see, the Xplat Ubuntu is now here, and obviously nothing, no jobs have run against it. Now I can go ahead and run this release against this particular agent. So I can check this, or I can also control which agent it runs through these capabilities. I can say, I can add a custom capability saying that this is my Xplat, and the value just say yes. And from here I can just add another demand. So I can go to agent option and I can add additional demand saying that this should run from the Xplat agent. Note that once I run it, this will fail because this also requires other agent capability like Azure PS and VSTest, which might not be installed, which is not installed on this machine. So it is just to give you an idea. I can run this, and so let's go to some other Xplat demo. So I have some Jenkins stuff here. Let's see if it runs. So I can go here, and this is so. The other thing that you need to remember is this Xplat agent, not all tasks will run on this Xplat agent because the demands won't be met. For example, a shell script is something that can run on my Xplat agent because the demands or the capabilities here there would be a shell somewhere. So let's just go and check it out. There is a shell, right? SH. And if you look at this demand for this environment, it should say SH, correct? So beware of all of this. So now if I run this release, I'll just pick some build as well as the environment where I want to deploy. This should start off in this. So let's see. So it should say the release has started or some information here when this release is picked up by this agent. So this is still queued. It is waiting for start. As you can see, it has been picked up. There are some errors, but we don't want to get into this. The major focus for this video was to configure a cross-plat agent from a Linux box, and this is done. So hope you liked it. Do put your comments if you find something which is not covered in this video or something else that you would like me to cover it. Thank you.